Hello friends, welcome to Singh's Academy. So as you can see on the screen, there are many students whose current status or current condition is of this way. ये दुख काहे ख़त्म नहीं होता है बे? Seriously. So I have seen many students who are facing problems in studies or facing problems in revising or in solving papers, or mostly there are many students who haven't completed the syllabus yet. So what you all can do is what I am going to tell you in this video. So in this video I have divided the students into some categories and their solutions according to their problems. Now let's move on to the first slide. Now category 1 is the students who are facing problems mostly in languages. Now there are many students who face problems in languages. Now the solution to their problem is, what they can do is focus more on vocabulary and grammar. आपको क्या करना है, पहले तो आप ग्रामर अच्छे से कर लो, 2 से 3 दिन दो, बिंदास दो, अच्छे से चलेगा. Consume 2 to 3 days, but study it nicely. Secondly, जब आपका ग्रामर और वोकेबलरी थोड़ा अच्छा हो जाएगा, इम्प्रूव हो जाएगा अच्छे से, तो फिर आप आपकी राइटिंग स्किल्स जो है उसके फॉर्मेट देखिए. अब राइटिंग स्किल इन द सेंस, जैसे कि हम बात करते हैं एक्सपांशन ऑफ आइडियाज़, फॉर्मल लेटर, इनफॉर्मल लेटर एंड मैनी मोर. सो ये सब है राइटिंग स्किल्स. तो इसके अंदर हमें जो हमारा थिंकिंग स्किल है, आर थिंकिंग स्किल, आर थिंकिंग स्पीड, आर राइटिंग स्पीड, all these are very important. Mostly there are many students who make grammatical mistakes mostly in Hindi and Marathi, and that's the reason why they lose marks in that. There may be some students who also may lose marks due to poor vocabulary or grammar in English. So everyone has their own weaknesses and strengths. So what I mean to tell is, firstly focus on grammar and vocabulary and then improve the writing skills. Okay, now lastly I would tell to solve some passages so that you can get idea how to find out the answers quickly and how the questions will be asked. Because in English, mostly in English, the questions are asked really very trickily. They try to trap you. The answer to the question is hidden in the passage, but the question is asked in such a way that you would be thinking, अरे कहाँ से डाल दिया है, ये तो पैसेज में दिया ही नहीं है. You would be that way. So try to solve passages firstly and then question papers. So solving the question papers would help you to realize your mistakes, what you are doing. You would get to know. Now the problem is, the students who haven't studied or haven't completed the syllabus, they think that when the students who have completed the syllabus, when they give prelims, they won't make that much mistakes. So what the problem is, its revision, its practice is very important. So first grammar, second writing skill, third passage, and then fourth solve question papers. And then personal response questions are really very important, because there are many students who just write personal response in a very simple and easy language. So what happens is, it doesn't put a great impact on the teacher or on the teacher who is checking the paper, right? So try to improve your language, try to improve your thinking skill. Okay, so now let's move on to category 2, who are mostly facing problems in mathematics. I do agree that maximum of the students face problem in mathematics. I do realize that. So the solution to the problem is now, uh, when I am talking about mathematics, there are two types of students who have completed, who have solved the book once, at least once. There may be who have solved twice, thrice, or more than that. So first category is that, and the second category is who haven't done anything. So now I want to talk about the students who have solved at least once. So they have a solution that they can just see the topics on which they are weak. Now mostly what happens is, in maths 1 mostly the students are weak, sometimes in, maybe in financial planning, and it could be quadratic equation, and in maths 2 mostly students face problems in proving, not solving but proving. So you can improve upon that. So what the ones can do who have solved at least once, you just firstly revise. Okay, after revising, solve papers, check your mistakes, repeat and revise, and then again solve, and then again see what are your mistakes. Keep practicing. You would get to know where are you making mistakes, and you can improve upon those mistakes. Okay, so if you haven't studied maths much, then it's time for you to make your weak part strong. What I mean to say is, if you haven't touched the book once, then it's a serious problem, and it's time to study smartly and hardly. Start with easy chapters. So why I wrote this? So now what's the problem is, there are some students who haven't completed the syllabus. What they do is they just pick up really very tough chapters, or they pick up some easy chapters and they directly start solving tough questions. So how would you be able to solve tough questions if you haven't solved the easy ones? So what I mean to say is, first study a chapter and then make some basic questions, and then gradually increase your level slowly. Don't increase it suddenly. Okay, it would affect your mindset. Now the ones who have solved and studied the book at least once, just make short note of formulas and directly start with papers, and then see what are your mistakes, as I said. Now let's come on to the category 3, history and geography of strugglers. Sorry, history and geography strugglers. So the students who are struggling mostly in history and geography, now I would tell you, don't be tensed much. So because these two subject, history और geography जो है ना, ये रट्टा मारे, can't do anything. Regarding history I can say that आप रीड करके अच्छा स्कोर कर सकते हो इस सब्जेक्ट में, बट जोग्राफी इसके लिए मतलब कितना भी आप कोशिश कर लो, it goes difficult to learn, I mean to understand. Mostly history and geography, there are maximum students who have mucked up these two subjects. The same was with me. So don't worry, just read the textbook for history and solve some map based questions for geography. I would suggest you that. Now secondly, I am there to help you in all the subjects, because I have a surprise for you in this video. There may be some of you who have joined my group and you know the surprise already. So let me introduce this to the ones who are not there in the group. So now let's first move on to the category 4, then I would introduce the surprise. So my favorite category, this is my favorite category, category 4, the students who are struggling in science. क्या करे भाई? Now the students who are struggling in science, I would suggest you just to start from the beginning. Now what you can do is, firstly study heredity, and then go to science 1 and then gravitation, and again life processes in living organisms, and then periodic classification of elements, and then life processes in living organisms 2, and then so keep moving on. Okay, just keep alternating. Now don't go in a flow. Now for example, you took the first chapter of science 2, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. This would make your studies boring. It would really make your studies boring. So what I want to say is, in science 2 there are some chapters which are easy to understand, and there are some chapters which are really very very important to learn. So now it's I think basically chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then it's chapter 6, chapter 7, and chapter 8. These are the chapters which are really very 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 important to understand. Also chapter 3, life processes in living organisms. So here's the surprise, we will be having live Menti quiz in 1 or 2 days, because I am looking for an app to do live stream on YouTube. Otherwise, if I don't get an app to have a live stream on YouTube, I would take it on Zoom meeting. I would be giving the link to join our WhatsApp group in the description. So now let's move on to the next slide. Now there are some details which I have written. So each and every subject has its own speciality. Okay, so for geography, you have map based questions and objectives, I would suggest, because in geography, I think about 25 marks are from objectives and map based questions. Okay, now what are these objectives? It could be fill in the blanks, match the following, name the pair, etc. etc. So in history, we come across objectives. Now in objectives, I would say mostly it is correct the wrong pair. Correct the wrong pair. This is really very 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 important. Correct the wrong pair, because when actually I have not given the 10th paper, but from the very beginning when I was solving the practice papers, I went through the question bank, because at that time the question bank was given. So when I came across various things, what I have seen is there is variety in history in this special question. Correct the wrong pair. You won't get variety in question answer. Mostly you will get variety in wrong pair. So this is a topic to score. If you don't study for this question, if you don't read the textbook to face correct the wrong pair, this question in exam, I think you can lose at least 5 to 8 marks or more than that in your exam. So now let's move on to the next subject, science. In science, what you can do is firstly make conceptual understanding. Okay, now when you understand a concept, then it's pretty easy to make diagrams of such concepts. आप बना सकते हैं, कोई कॉन्सेप्ट समझ गया, आप उसका डायग्राम बना सकते हैं नहीं? अगर मैं आपको बता दूं डीसी मोटर, एसी मोटर, अगर मैं जनरेटर आई मीन मोटर भी आता है, जनरेटर भी आता है, तो अगर मैं आपको बोलूं कि एसी जनरेटर जो है इसका डायग्राम बना के दो, आप बना लोगे? वाई? बिकॉज यू हैव अंडरस्टूड द कॉन्सेप्ट वेरी वेल. नाउ अभी कॉन्सेप्ट को समझने के भी बहुत सारे तरीके होते हैं. कोई कोई स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं जो क्या करते हैं, पहले डायग्राम देखते हैं, मैं उनको डायग्राम बताऊंगा, वो डायग्राम से ही बता देंगे कि कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है, कॉन्सेप्ट में को उससे एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे. सो देर आर वेरियस अप्रोचेस. सो आपको जो अप्रोच अच्छी लगती है वैसे कीजिए. या तो आप पहले कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़िए फिर डायग्राम बनाइए, या तो आप डायग्राम को देखते देखते कॉन्सेप्ट समझ लीजिए, दैट वुड बी बेटर. नाउ इन दोनों को छोड़ के concept and diagram, lastly I would suggest you to solve some numericals. Which numericals? Especially the numericals of gravitation, numericals of heat, numericals of refraction of light. There are many chapters. So I would suggest you to solve or to learn how to balance a chemical equation in chemistry. This would help you. Now, secondly, I would tell you to study IUPAC nomenclature, the ninth chapter, carbon compounds. This chapter is really very important in from organic chemistry, I could say. So when the topic comes to organic chemistry, this chapter is really very important, especially if you are taking science in 11, then you have to study this. Now let's move on to the next slide. Now I have a tip for all of you to progress fast or to clear some concepts based on science. Watch animated videos. Now, what animated videos? Now, for heredity and variation, or you can say in life processes in living organisms, there are many topics which students are unable to understand through explanation. They are only able to understand it through animation. So, what you can do is watch some animated videos on YouTube. There are many videos available on YouTube. Now let's take an example. It could be meiosis, mitosis. It could be heredity. I mean transcription, translation, translocation, central dogma. It could be anything. So it could be also related to physics. I mean gravitation, heat. It could be anything. So what you can do is now what some students will say is भाई अभी इतना टाइम ही का बचा है, एक ही महीना तो बचा है. सो यू आर राइट. व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग इज़ अगर आपको कोई कंसेप्ट समझने की मुश्किल आ रही है तो एनिमेटेड वीडियो ज़रूर देखो. और साइंस के लिए भी वही सेम अप्रोच यूज़ करो. होता है तो सेल्फ स्टडी से कर लो, फर्स्ट अप्रोच. सेकेंडली अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि मैं खुद से नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, नहीं हो पा रहा है, so what you can do is you can see some lectures on YouTube. Okay, this is the second approach what you can do. And then after watching video or after studying the chapter by yourself, just start practicing papers. Now what papers? I am not telling to solve paper of full syllabus. What I am telling is study one chapter, solve one question paper. Study second chapter, solve second question paper. uh, Now for whom is this tip? This tip is for those students who haven't touched the science book. Okay, now the students who have studied science pretty well, they can directly solve questions. Okay, I mean question paper. So especially I would just as I said, gradually increase your level, don't increase suddenly, otherwise it would affect your mindset. And I would like to say keep revising as much as you can, keep revising the concept, keep revising the theory, keep practicing the sums as much as you can. Okay, because there are many students who what they do is एक बार सम सॉल्व कर लिया बस अब तो हम आता है हम जीनियस है सब याद रह जाएगा. नहीं याद रहता है. ओके, so you what you need to do is you need to practice. You need to practice more and more because these are board exams. This is not JEE type exam. If it would have been JEE, I would understand, because what JEE depends on is the variety of questions you solve. So now put aside that. So what I would like to say is just revise as much as you can. Okay, and best of luck to the strategy. If you follow my strategy, I am telling it would help you definitely. If you have some other strategy or you are following another strategy, no worries, keep studying. That's what matters to me, what matters to you. Okay, and before ending this video, I would like to talk about something. I would like to warn all of you not to make any timetable for these days. अब मेरे साथ क्या होता था मैं बताता हूँ आप सभी को. मैं ना 10th में था तो मेरे अंदर भूत सवार था टाइम टेबल बनाने का. बहुत ज़्यादा, मतलब बनाना ही है. जैसे मतलब सोने से पहले ही मैं टाइम टेबल बना लेता था अगले दिन का, कि सवेरे ये करेंगे, सवेरे इतने बजे उठेंगे, इतने बजे खाएंगे, इतने बजे पढ़ने बैठेंगे, इतने बजे उठ जाएंगे, इतने बजे ये करेंगे, इतने बजे वो करेंगे. अगले दिन उठता था, फिर क्या होता था, जो टाइम टेबल में सबसे पहली चीज़ होती थी, जब तक मैं उठता तब तक तो वो मिस हो जाती थी. फिर ना ऐसे करके हर एक चीज़ मिस होते जाती थी. फिर क्या होता था, जैसे कि अभी मेरा टाइम टेबल है, मैंने मेरे टाइम टेबल में अबाउट 10 टॉपिक बनाए हैं. उसमें से मेरे 3 से 4 जो मेरे सब्जेक्ट थे, जो मुझे पढ़ना था, वो मेरा मिस हो गया. मैं क्या करता था, मैं उसकी भी उम्मीद छोड़ देता था. मतलब आई यूज टू थिंक लाइक, अब 4 टॉपिक तो छूट गए, मतलब 4 पहले के छूट गए, अभी ये पढ़ के क्या फ़ायदा, छोड़ो कल पढ़ेंगे. Now what I did was I wasted about half or a full month, I think more than half of month in this. And what I would suggest you is study on that time which is suitable to you. Now it's not like you have to wake up at 5 a.m. you have to wake up at 6 a.m. There are many students who have headache when they wake up early. The same was the case with me. Sorry, the same is the case with me right now. So study at the time which is suitable for you, whether it be night, whether it be morning. But if possible, try to study in the morning, because from my experience, in morning you have your fresh mind, you can definitely grab the concepts pretty well. It's okay if you study at night, no problem. So here I end this video, and subscribe to our channel if you like this video. Click the bell icon to receive each and every notification of our channel. Like the video if you found that this video was helpful for you. Share this video with your friends if you liked it. So I would put the link to join my WhatsApp group in the description. Let's meet in the next video. Till then, take care.